Good morning, and welcome to another edition of TechTime. Interesting topic that we've seen some recent tech calls come in where water pipes are corroded and eaten away and water leaks all over. And not a lot is written about electrolysis in our industry, but my research I've done some investigating and like to share some tips and topics today with you guys. And let's get rocking and rolling. So thanks again for joining and appreciate you viewing today. Okay, let's go. Obviously, you can take some notes. You can get some valuable answers for important questions down the road. And don't forget to sign up for future webinars and tech times that we have. These are all being recorded and placed on our Enertech University YouTube channels as well, so you can watch these at any other time down the road if you so choose. Again, I am Jim Strandlund, part of the technical service group, and my phone number and email contact is on the screen. If you have any questions, you're sure as welcome to give us an email or give us a call, or if you see some other topics you would like to explore, be happy to take them into consideration. Enertech University and Enertech Energy Technology websites we have are our sponsors today, and so a lot of that information, good information, is on our websites. And again, the Enertech University has all of our webinars and trainings listed. Please use them and learn every day. Corrosion in the geothermal, can come from many different sources, and a lot of it internal from poor water quality. We've seen issues with that before. Dissimilar metals, okay, copper versus steel versus some of the stuff here you can see corrosion. Water being trapped in by pipe insulation underneath, can create some corrosion once air is prevalent. Turbulent flow inside water piping can create those kind of issues as well, making parts where weakening metals and eventually causing leaks. But electrolysis is one that maybe not a lot of us pay attention to, and that's where I want to talk to a little bit about today. And there are other factors that can cause this as well, but we're going to hit this one for now. Here's a good example that you can see of a dissimilar metal cutaways and corrosion that can happen inside. We've all seen this kind of before, where we get a water leak in air and copper, and it creates a corrosion. Here's a picture of a pipe, water trapped underneath pipe insulation, corroding the coaxial coils of a geothermal heat pump. And this can also be caused by some electrolysis, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. I thought it was kind of interesting. I actually found this slide showing, man, there's many different ways of pipe leaking or pipes cracking, from internal corrosion, external corrosion, which we've seen. Even hydrogen-induced can cause cracking. Stress corrosion, we all know about vibrations and in pipes that can cause cracks or cause solder joints to leak as well. But I think one of the interesting ones comes from electrolysis, and electrolysis eats away from the internal inside of the pipe, and electricity is known to be problems in a lot of different applications. Coming from a background where I did a lot of dairy work, we used to see a lot of cows reduce their production of milk processes, and farmers used to see them very uncomfortable at the milking parlors. And a lot of it was stemmed from what we call grounding issues and stray voltage running through the concrete and coming into the animals. And this is where a lot of the corrosion, and especially in dairy barns, in electrical panels and improper grounding came into play. So this can happen in our industry as well, which I have seen in the last couple of months. People had to replace all the copper water pipes in the geothermal heat pump. Electrolysis we're regularly mistaken for poor water quality, but a lot of the major cause of electrolysis has to do with grounding or bonding of our units, or anybody's geothermal heat pump units, or corrosion disrupting the grounding process. It's very important for the equipment. Any appliances that uses water, you'll find that time it's easier for maybe the electricity stray voltage to pass through a water process instead of going through the ground line. So it's always looking at where the path of least resistance is. Find it interesting, like our household appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, and even dryers, whether they're not always 115 or 220 volts, you notice they've got an extra grounding wire, typically in the plugs, and that's to make sure there's enough avenue for any voltage, stray voltage, to head out and not to disrupt the water or short out things. So very important to pay attention to that. I found interesting is that people that use 115 volt circulator pumps or control circuitries, typically takes the power from one side of a 230 volt circuit and then sends power back through a neutral wire. And your neutral wire is pretty much the same thing as a grounding connection or grounding wire. So again, higher resistance, any stray voltage or electricity is going to find a path of least resistance. If it's going through your water pipes, now you're dealing with electricity and water, and guess what? Electrolysis occurs, and this is where some of the leaks occur or happen. So pay close attention to retrofit jobs, not knowing how good the system's electrical panels or the grounding may be done, proper, something good to check. Not all electricians may pay attention to that stuff once we put our new equipment in. Also, I find that when we do service calls or maintenance calls, I know we typically look at tightening the electrical connections to the contactor and other connections, but how often do we all miss the grounding lug? And you'll find that if you tighten the grounding lug, a lot of times the screw that's holding into the cabinet slips and slides too as well. So can this create an issue that could happen down the road? So typical grounding lug, you see the hole where we would screw it into the cabinet. Pay attention to that as well, because I also find that if that grounding lug is placed on, let's say, a painted surface, sometimes we always don't get really good contact through there. I've done processes on even ice machines where I've seen this, scrape the paint off the back, put the screw back in, so I get myself a better ground. So something important to pay attention and on your technical service calls, repairs, etc. Electrolysis is an important part of a problem in our industry today. We all know typically things are grounded outside with a grounding rod. Do we ever check them to make sure the ground is good? No, we really don't. But it's something to consider if we're having a problem to make sure the electrical panel is grounded properly so that we prevent these kind of problems. So during my research, there's not a lot of articles, a lot of information about this written. This gentleman from GeoJ has a blog that's out there that is very interesting. It's a very good article. I want to give him credit. I learned a lot from reading it. And in your corner where your access is, I do have his article where you can download and you can read it or go online and find it. I found it was very interesting and some more topics concerning this in there. I've never met Jay, but I've read about him and seen him be national speakers. He's got a very good rapport in the mechanical and engineering and contracting business for years. And so I think that's appreciate being able to read an article that somebody did write on it. So again, you can look for it online. You can download it from your header bars, or let us know. We can email you a copy. I think we follow up with sending you one anyway. So again, this is a topic that's pretty interesting to do. Again, I'm part of the technical services member group. You're welcome to give us a call anytime you have any questions or problems. Again, we can reach us at area code 618-664-5860. If you got any questions, we're here to help you out. So again, appreciate you signing up today and watching. Have a beautiful day. Good luck and get out there and sell Geo and fix them properly. And look forward to seeing you another time. Thanks again for attending.